Peace to you, beloved soul. I'm so glad you're here. This message isn't for the crowds. It's not a loud call for attention. It's a soft, steady whisper from the Spirit. A whisper you were meant to hear. Because God's voice is clear. This person was meant to walk life with you. You may not understand all of it right now. You may still be carrying the ache of old disappointments, or the weight of uncertainty about who's truly for you. But even in your confusion, even in your waiting, God has never stopped preparing this union. This isn't about anyone random showing up in your life. This is about a soul whose presence speaks peace to yours. Someone whose walk has been aligned with yours long before you ever knew they existed. There are some relationships that come and go, and then there are the ones sent by divine instruction. This person, the one that keeps resurfacing in your spirit, is not a distraction. They're a confirmation. And you've known this deep down. You've sensed it when you pray. You've noticed how your heart softens when you think of them. You've felt how God gently highlights their name in moments when you weren't even asking. This is how God speaks. Not always with thunder, but with peace. Not with pressure, but with quiet certainty. You see, when something is truly from God, it doesn't pull you into fear. It draws you into alignment, and you, beloved, are being aligned now. Not just with someone else's presence, but with God's purpose in your life. This person isn't just meant to walk beside you. They're meant to walk with you, together, in rhythm with heaven's song. In unity with God's will. You may wonder, but how will I know it's them? Friend, you'll know because your spirit will find rest in theirs. Not perfection, but peace. Not endless fireworks, but enduring fire. They will water the seeds of your calling, not compete with them. They will speak life into you, not confusion. They will encourage your walk with God, not weaken it. And when you speak, they will listen. Just with their ears, but with their heart. They'll want to know how you're really doing. And they won't run when life gets hard. They'll kneel with you in prayer. This is not the kind of connection you can manufacture. This isn't born from fantasy or flesh. This is a bond made in heaven's stillness, revealed in God's perfect timing. But beloved, before this person could walk life with you, you had to walk some valleys alone. You had to grow into who you are now. You had to learn how to hear God's voice for yourself. That was no accident. Your loneliness was never punishment. It was preparation. Because God didn't want you to attach out of desperation. He wanted you to connect out of clarity. And now clarity is coming. Truth is rising. God is speaking clearly, and if you listen with the ears of your spirit, you'll realize this. This person wasn't sent to complete you. They were sent to walk with you, not above you, not beneath you, but with you. So take a breath. Lay down your anxiety. Release the fear of getting it wrong. God is not playing hide and seek with your heart. He's guiding you, faithfully, gently, and if you've been blessed by this message so far, I lovingly invite you to help us keep this space of peace alive. If the Spirit is stirring you, feel free to support this channel with a super thanks, or share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Leave a comment with your prayer or reflection. Your words may be the confirmation someone else is longing for. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a word spoken from this place of quiet truth. Now, back to the sacred path. This person, dear soul, has been walking toward you in ways you didn't always recognize. Maybe they were healing, just like you. Maybe they were going through trials that would prepare their heart to truly love you God's way. Not a love that takes, but one that gives, builds, and sees beyond the surface. It's not too late. You didn't miss them. You didn't mess up your chance. If this is truly a connection God ordained, then it is not fragile. It will not fall apart in His timing. Even now God is aligning hearts, shifting circumstances, whispering into their spirit too. They are sensing you. They are praying for clarity. They are feeling that pull, that sacred, beautiful pull towards something holy. That something is you. And here's something the angels want you to remember. You don't have to fight for what's already yours by grace. You don't need to perform to be seen. You don't need to prove that you're worthy of love, because God already knows the end from the beginning. He knew this connection would require maturity, trust, and a healed heart. So instead of rushing, you're learning to receive. Instead of forcing, you're learning to flow. And when you least expect it, but most trust Him, God will unfold what He promised. Not all at once, but gently. One peaceful confirmation after another. Their words will echo something sacred in you. Their presence will silence what once tormented your thoughts. Their love will be safe. Their soul will be kind. When you walk together, whether down a path, into a new season, or through a storm, you'll know God really was clear. This person truly was meant to walk life with you. If your heart is stirring right now, that's not just emotion. It's your spirit recognizing what God has been saying all along. You're not waiting in vain. You're not walking alone. And if this message has touched you deeply, pause for a moment and give thanks to the one who's always been guiding. God is faithful, and He uses even videos like this to reach His children in the exact moment they need comfort and clarity. Please feel welcome to subscribe for more messages like this. And if you feel moved, a super thanks helps us continue creating these peaceful, spirit-led spaces. Your generosity helps this message travel further to the hearts that need it most. We'll continue in the next part, where we'll go even deeper into the signs God is giving you and how to trust the unfolding journey ahead. Until then, rest in the truth. You are seen, you are held, and someone is being prepared to walk this life with you, hand in hand, heart in heart. In God's perfect peace, welcome back, beloved soul. There's something deeply sacred about your presence here. Not just because you're listening, but because your heart is open. You've chosen stillness over noise, faith over fear. And in this space, God speaks clearly. So I ask you gently, can you feel His presence already softening your spirit? Can you sense the truth drawing near again? That yes, this person truly was meant to walk life with you. The journey to this kind of soul-aligned love is never simple. It's not the fairy tale path. It's not without delay or doubt. But it is holy, it is real, and it is covered in God's fingerprints. You didn't just stumble into this knowing. You didn't imagine the connection. This isn't about fantasy. It's about divine alignment. God is the one who placed that longing in your soul. Not for just any companionship, but for something deeper, a union that reflects His covenant heart. A love that moves with heaven's rhythm. You see, the world teaches us to chase after attention, but God teaches us to wait for assignment. And this person, this connection, is part of your assignment. They carry a piece of your destiny, and you carry a piece of theirs. Not because either of you are incomplete, but because together, you reveal more of God's beauty and glory than you could alone. There are things you will unlock in each other only through presence, through faithfulness, through walking side by side. You may not know how it will unfold, but you can trust who is unfolding it. God does not write chaotic stories. He writes holy ones. And in His story for you, this person is not a footnote. They are part of the main chapter, woven in with care, placed at the precise moment, introduced not for entertainment, but for edification. And even if the world can't understand it, even if others can't see why you feel what you feel, you don't need outside validation. You just need inner peace. And the peace of God is confirming again, this person is not here to distract you. They were sent to walk with you. Think back to the moments when you felt alone, to the nights you cried in silence, to the prayers you whispered that no one else ever heard. God heard them. And He didn't just comfort you. He prepared someone who would help carry the journey forward. Someone who would not only see you, but cherish you. Someone whose hands would not hold you too tightly, but just right, in honor, in respect, in faith. And here's the truth most don't talk about. Before God brings someone into your life to walk with you, He must teach you how to walk alone with Him. That's where you've been. In the secret place, learning the cadence of His voice, learning not to settle, learning how to be whole in Him so that you could recognize someone else who's being made whole too. You're not being forgotten. You're being formed. You're not being left behind. You're being led. And even now, the person God spoke of is sensing something too. They're not far. Spiritually, they are near, closer than you think. And when your paths align, not by accident, but by grace, it will feel like home. Not just to your body, but to your soul. If you've been blessed by this word so far, pause here and breathe in the peace of God. Let His Spirit remind you, you're not crazy for hoping. You're not wrong for believing. Your heart isn't broken beyond repair. It's being prepared for something holy. And if this message resonates, please consider subscribing for more peaceful, Spirit-filled words like this. Leave a comment with your prayer or testimony. You never know who might be touched by your words. And if you feel led, a super thanks is a beautiful way to help us continue producing messages that reach weary souls like yours. We're grateful for every offering, every share, every quiet yes. It keeps this sanctuary of peace alive. Now, let's go deeper. God doesn't just pair two people by attraction. He pairs by purpose, by mission, by mutual devotion to something higher than themselves. This person may not look like what you expected. They may come from a background you didn't anticipate. But the way they love, the way they reflect Christ, that will be the clearest sign. And you will know it's them not by how loudly they speak, but by how deeply they listen. Not by how perfect they seem, but by how present they are. Stay. When the world runs, they'll stay. When storms come, they'll kneel and pray. When questions rise, they'll speak with wisdom, not panic. Because their love isn't immature. It's rooted. It's seasoned. It's from God. This kind of connection doesn't just feel good. It draws you closer to the cross. It makes you want to be more faithful, more whole, more surrendered. You'll find that the more time you spend with them, the more clearly you see God's fingerprints, in their smile, in their patience, in the way they honor your soul, even when you're quiet. This is no ordinary love. And that's why you felt such warfare around it. That's why the enemy has tried to confuse your vision, to make you second-guess what you once knew, to tire you with false starts and counterfeit connections. But grace is still speaking. Hope is still alive. And love, God's kind of love, is still moving toward you. So don't lose heart now. Don't settle out of exhaustion. Don't give up on what God has whispered just because it's taking time. He's not finished writing the chapter. And this person, this love, this divine union, is part of what's still unfolding. The clarity you're receiving now is not wishful thinking. It's God reminding you that what He starts, He finishes, that what He ordains, He defends, that what He blesses, He sustains. So trust Him again. Lift your heart again. Believe again, not in a fantasy, but in a faithful God who finishes what He begins. And as we bring this part of the message to a gentle close, I invite you once more, if this word has met you in your soul, subscribe. To stay connected, share this message with someone whose spirit may need it. And if you feel led to offer a super thanks, know that every gift you give helps sustain this peaceful space and allows us to keep spreading God's love. One whisper at a time. Your presence here matters. Your heart matters. And your story isn't over. This person, the one God prepared, is still coming, still being revealed. And soon you'll look back and realize God's voice really was clear. And this walk, it was always meant to be shared. Stay close, beloved. Part 3 awaits. And in it, we'll explore what it truly means to walk in love, hand in hand with the one God has chosen, and how to keep God at the center, no matter what comes. Until then, breathe, rest, trust. You are not forgotten. You are being led. And the one meant to walk with you is already being guided by the same hand. Welcome again, beloved soul. You've journeyed with me through the quiet, through the gentle truth, through the reminders that God has not forgotten you. Now we come to the sacred unfolding, not the end of the message, but the beginning of understanding what this love is meant to be, the love God has been preparing, the love that feels like home to your spirit, the love that's not perfect, but perfectly aligned with Him. This person was meant to walk life with you. And the beauty of that truth is not just in what they bring, but in what you'll become together. This is not about completing each other. It's about walking as two whole people who have been healed, stretched, softened, and humbled by the hand of God. Together, you'll create a safe space. A space where faith can grow, where love is spoken gently and wounds are tended, not judged. A space where God is not an afterthought, but the center, the first voice you consult, the final word you trust. Walking with this person won't always be easy, but it will be blessed. You'll have to learn each other, to listen past words, to stay when it would be easier to run. But through every season, God will be present, and His Spirit will guide you if you keep Him first. This is what divine union looks like, not a perfect fairy tale, but a holy partnership, a garden you both choose to water, a covenant you both choose to keep. Let's go deeper now, because your heart is ready for more. Do you remember the dreams you used to carry? The visions you tucked away because you thought love and calling couldn't coexist. But God never asked you to sacrifice one for the other. He asked you to wait for a connection that would honor both. This person is not here to dim your light. They're here to walk beside you as you both shine in the ways God designed. They will see your fire and not fear it. They'll celebrate your anointing and not compete with it. Likewise, you will be their safe place, the one who covers them in prayer, the one who believes when they forget how. You'll speak life into their weary moments, because your soul will recognize theirs as familiar, as chosen. Not by chance, but by divine decree. Let this truth settle in your spirit. You didn't miss your person. You didn't take too long to heal. God's timing has not failed you. If it was truly God who whispered them into your heart, then God will be the one to bring them to your side. Not through striving, but through surrender. Not by grasping, but by grace. And when they come, when the moment arrives, you will know, because you'll have peace. Not butterflies. Peace. Not chaos. Peace. Not confusion. Peace. And that peace will anchor you both through whatever comes next. If your spirit has been nourished by this message, pause with me for just a moment. Take a breath of gratitude. Let your heart soften. Let your mind rest. You're not walking toward love alone. God walks with you. He speaks. He confirms. He provides. And if this message has blessed your heart, consider subscribing to stay connected to this peaceful space. Leave a comment with your prayer or insight. Your words may be the encouragement someone else needs today. And if you feel stirred, a super thanks is a humble and powerful way to help sustain this work. Your gift helps us create more of what brings peace to tired souls and spreads the light of God's love to those silently searching. Now, let us sit with this final truth together. This walk, this journey of life, was never meant to be taken alone. God created community, covenant, companionship, not as a crutch but as a reflection of His heart. You were designed to give and receive love. Not just any love, but a love that echoes heaven, a love that bears fruit, a love that stands firm in faith and forgiveness. The person God is sending, or perhaps has already gently introduced into your life, they carry a reflection of His kindness. You'll recognize it not just by what they say, but by how they care for what God cares about. They will honor your time. They will respect your boundaries. They will love you in a way that brings you closer to Jesus, not further. When they speak, you'll hear truth. When they pray, you'll feel safety. When they fall short, they'll take responsibility. And when you fall, they'll extend grace. This is not a person who will manipulate your emotions. They will nourish your heart. And even in conflict, you'll find restoration. Because both of you are committed to the same source, the one who makes all things new. The past does not disqualify you. The mistakes you've made don't cancel the promise. God uses even the detours to strengthen your discernment. So don't be ashamed of the lessons. They were necessary. They made your ears more sensitive to God's whisper. They made your heart wiser, softer, more prepared. This person, the one sent by heaven, will not rescue you. They will rise with you. They'll believe in God's promises with you. And they'll celebrate your soul, not just your achievements. You were not meant to beg for love. You were meant to receive it, to walk in it, to grow within it. Because when God sends someone, He sends them with humility, with wisdom, with timing. And right now, He's sending you this message as part of the preparation. Not so you'll become anxious, but so you'll become ready. Your heart is opening. Your vision is clearing. Your hope is rising again, not in man, but in the one who orchestrates all things for good. So rest, beloved. Be still in the knowing. Trust what God has confirmed to your spirit again and again, that this is not just about finding someone. It's about walking with the one God chose for your path, your purpose, your joy. And together, when you walk in union, you will glorify the Father, not just through what you say, but through how you love. A love that is patient, a love that is kind, a love that is not boastful, nor proud, nor easily angered, a love that keeps no record of wrongs, a love that trusts, hopes, and never gives up. That's the kind of love you're being called to walk in. That's the kind of person you're being prepared to walk with. So take heart. Your steps are ordered. And love, true, God-sent love, is closer than you think. And before we close this final part, I ask again with love, if this message has spoken to your heart, subscribe so you never miss another word of peace. Leave a comment with your reflection or prayer. You are not alone in this journey. Share this message with someone who needs a gentle word from heaven. And if you feel led, a humble, super thanks is a precious gift, one that helps us keep spreading truth, hope, and rest to all who are weary. May your heart remain open. May your faith stay strong. And may your spirit be tender to God's voice, because He is speaking. He has spoken. And His word to you is clear. This person, this walk, this love, it was always meant to be. Go in peace, beloved. Your steps are blessed. And the one who walks with you is being guided by the same faithful hand that has always been guiding you. Welcome back, dear soul. You've followed the voice of God through the wilderness of waiting, through the questions, the confirmations, the quiet preparation. Now, you stand at the beginning of something beautiful. Not an ending, but a beginning wrapped in grace. A chapter not built on fantasy, but formed in faith. This part of your journey is about walking with them. Not just meeting them, not just recognizing the divine timing, but waking up each day and choosing covenant. And beloved, it is a choice, one that is sacred, one that is tested, one that will be refined again and again by the fire of love. A love rooted in God, because when God sends someone, He doesn't just send you a person. He sends you an assignment. He sends you a ministry. He sends you someone with whom you will build a holy altar, not just in your home, but in your daily life. This is the kind of love that prays first, that forgives quickly, that doesn't give the silent treatment, but speaks truth in grace, in humility, in the Spirit. The world says love is a feeling, but God says love is a walk, a rhythm, a covenant renewed daily, even on the days when the feelings fade, even on the days when it's quiet and slow, even on the days when one of you forgets how to speak, but still shows up in kindness. You were meant to walk this life together, not just when it's easy, but when it's God. And what does that look like? It looks like small acts of gentleness, becoming a garden of peace. It looks like praying for their dreams before your own. It looks like washing their wounds in love without pointing at them in shame, because to walk with someone in God is to walk in the spirit of restoration, not accusation. And you, beloved, have been prepared for this kind of love, not a love that rushes, but a love that sees, not a love that demands, but one that holds space. This is the season of doing life together, and that means allowing God to live in the center of all things. Your routines, your money, your time, your words, your prayers that let your home become a sanctuary. Let your conversations become worship. Let your disagreements become opportunities for grace. Because when you walk in God, even hard days become holy. If your heart is opening again as you hear these words, pause with me for just a moment. Let your soul exhale. Let peace settle back in. You are not just imagining the possibility. You are stepping into the promise. And if this word is touching something deep inside you, subscribe now to stay grounded in this peaceful rhythm of truth. Leave a comment with your prayer or your journey. Someone reading it might be walking the very same path. And if this message has been a blessing, consider offering a super thanks, not out of pressure, but as a way of keeping this space alive for every soul who longs to hear the voice of God. Through love, we're building something holy here. And you are part of it. Now, walk with me just a little further, because when two people walk together in God's light, they are no longer just two. They become a reflection of heaven's unity. Not to be idolized, but to be witnessed. Your walk together becomes a testimony to your children, to your community, to strangers who see your joy and feel something deeper than human connection. They feel the presence of God. This person God sent to walk with you is not your source. God is. They are your companion, your fellow pilgrim, your spiritual confidant. When they weep, you will hold their heart in your hands. When they rejoice, you will multiply their joy. When they fall, you will remind them of grace. And when you lose your way, they will take your hand and walk you back to the cross. This is what it means to be one. Not the world's version, but God's. You will grow together. Not just in affection, but in purpose. You will become a prayer team, a praise team, a healing team. An example that real love is not loud, but deeply rooted and quietly unstoppable. This is no ordinary companionship. This is a life-giving, soul-anchoring walk, step by step, faith to faith, glory to glory. You'll build a life not on sand, but on the rock, on every word God spoke to you in the waiting, in the stillness, in the tears that only He saw. And now that person is here, or they are close, closer than your doubt will allow you to believe, but your faith knows, your spirit knows. God is faithful, and the one He joins to your life will stay. Let this be your daily prayer. Lord, teach us how to walk together in your name. Let us never outrun your peace. Let us never exalt each other above you. Let our love be a living testimony of your heart on earth. And dear soul, even after the wedding, even after the vows, even after the promises, you'll keep walking. Day by day, with laughter, with tears, with gentle hands and yielded hearts, because you're not just walking with each other, you're walking with God, and the closer you stay to Him, the closer you'll stay to one another. This is the promise. This is the path. This is the beauty of walking life together under God's covering. If you've felt the Spirit in this message, don't let it end here. Take the next gentle step. Subscribe for more soft, sacred words like this. Comment below. with your prayer or praise report. You never know who it will bless. And if you feel led to sow a super thanks, know that your gift is not just support, it's ministry. It keeps this space open for hearts that are silently searching for the peace you now feel. Thank you for walking with me through this message. Thank you for trusting the process, the voice, the timing. And now walk on, beloved, not alone, not in fear, but in full assurance that yes, God's voice has been clear all along. This person was meant to walk life with you. And now you walk forward together forever in Him. Amen. Welcome again, beloved. You've walked with grace through the promises, the preparation, the union, and the daily faithfulness of loving the one God sent. And now you arrive at something even more holy, the fruit of the life you've built together in God. This part of the journey is not always visible from the outside. It's quiet. It's sacred. It's deeply rooted in the years of showing up for one another with Christ at the center. Because real love, the kind that walks beside you for a lifetime, isn't just about joy. It's about yielding. It's about surrendering your way so that God's way can live through both of you. You see, every love story written by God isn't just for the two people living it. It's for generations. It's for ministry. It's for healing. It's for witness. The way you love each other now, the way you forgive, the way you pray, the way you listen, the way you rebuild after conflict, it becomes a light, a testimony, a living altar that others will one day stand before and say, I see God in them. And that is the greatest fruit. You are not just walking life together anymore. You are planting legacy, spiritual legacy, relational legacy. Legacy that is not measured by wealth or status, but by what your presence together leaves behind in the world. And the world needs this kind of love more than ever. Love that is humble. Love that doesn't need to be perfect to be powerful. Love that is grounded. Love that refuses to give up when it's hard, but instead goes to the feet of Jesus together again and again. So many chase love that looks good. But you, beloved, you were chosen for love that bears fruit, the kind of fruit the Bible speaks of: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. You'll see this fruit in the quiet ways, in how they hold your hand when you feel unsure, in how they speak to you when you fail, in how you both grow in your faith together, not out of obligation, but out of awe. You'll begin to pray differently, not just for needs, but for nations, for purpose, for others. Because God didn't just give you each other. He gave you a mission together. And that mission may not always look like ministry in a pulpit. It might look like adopting a child, or building a business with kingdom values, or opening your home as a place of rest for weary souls. It might look like simply living faithfully, one ordinary day at a time, as a reflection of extraordinary grace. This is the fruit, beloved, the beauty born from deep roots. And God has not brought you this far just for a good story. He brought you this far so your union could reveal Him. If you're beginning to sense how sacred your calling is, not just to love, but to love in God, pause with me here. Take this moment to thank Him, not just for the blessing, but for the becoming. Because the real treasure isn't just that you found someone, it's that together, you are becoming more like Christ. And if this message is resonating deeply, I warmly invite you to subscribe for more spirit-filled words like this. Share this video with someone who is building their life in faith. And if the Spirit leads you, offering a super thanks helps us keep creating this quiet, sacred space, a space for real love, real faith, and deep restoration. Every comment, every gift, every share helps this ministry continue. Thank you for being part of it. Now, let us return to the heart of the matter. Legacy is not made in grand moments. Legacy is built in everyday choices. How you speak to each other when no one is watching. how you serve each other without needing praise, how you keep choosing one another, especially on the days when your emotions don't. This is the love that reflects God, because God never stops choosing you. And in covenant, you learn to love like He does. You become more merciful. You become more anchored. You become more aware that love isn't about having your way, but walking God's way. Together, you'll start seeing fruit in your prayers, in your peace, in your decisions, and in the impact you leave behind. The person God gave you to walk with will not just be your partner. They'll be your co-laborer in Christ. Your gentle reminder when you forget who you are. Your safe place in the storm. And day by day, your walk will become worship. Because in each other, you'll see Christ more clearly. Not because either of you are flawless, but because both of you are surrendered. You'll learn to say, "I was wrong," and mean it. You'll learn to say, "I forgive you," and feel it. You'll learn to say, "I still choose you," even on days when your flesh is tired, but your spirit remembers the promise. This is the beauty of life together in God. It ages like fine wine. It deepens. It humbles. It sanctifies. You've made it, beloved. Not to the end, but to the beginning of true legacy. And I bless you as you walk forward in love, in truth, in commitment, in spiritual maturity, with your eyes set not just on each other, but on Jesus, who walks between you, ahead of you, and behind you. Let your days be filled with peace. Let your home be filled with worship. Let your love be an answer to someone else's prayer. And let your life together be a living altar of gratitude to the one who wrote your story. If you've been moved by this message, don't leave without sharing your heart. Comment with your reflections, your testimony, or your prayer. Subscribe so you stay nourished with truth. And if God has used this to pour into you, a super thanks helps us keep pouring into others who are still seeking their own sacred walk. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing. And thank you for letting this message walk beside your heart. Remember this always. The one God sent you was never meant to complete you. They were meant to walk with you. And now, by His grace, you walk together in fruitfulness, in faith, in love, and in legacy. Amen. Welcome, beloved soul. You've walked through the whispers, the waiting, the walking, and the fruit-bearing. Now you arrive at the highest place in the journey. Not just the summit of love, but the revelation of why this love was given at all. This was never just about romance. It was never just about companionship. It was about eternity. About reflecting God's very heart through your lives joined as one. You see, when God chooses to pair two people, He's not simply solving loneliness. He's planting legacy. He's revealing heaven. Your love, when surrendered to Him, becomes a window into eternity. A glimpse of how Christ loves His bride. A living echo of grace. A divine invitation to others to taste and see that the Lord is good. And this is the great truth. You and the one He gave you were always meant to point back to Him, to serve, to worship, to build, to reflect light into dark places, to bear burdens together, to raise others up, to bless without needing to be seen. This is what makes your love holy, not its ease, but its eternal purpose. There will be times when no one understands the depth of what you carry, not your friends, not your family, not even your former self, because what you two have, what God has joined, is not of this world. It is sacred. And sacred things are often hidden, protected, and misunderstood by those who only look with earthly eyes. But you have chosen to see with faith, and that's why you've made it this far. That's why heaven continues to speak over your life. This person, the one God aligned with your soul, was not sent to be your everything. They were sent to walk beside you as both of you bow before the one who is everything. That is the posture of eternal love. Not eyes on each other constantly, but eyes on God, hands held together, hearts bowed low, souls moving as one. You'll know this love by how it worships, how it prays, how it tarries in God's presence, how it waits, how it gives, how it yields. Not to control, but to become a vessel. Beloved, this is the final and highest truth. God paired you not just to enjoy life together, but to prepare for eternity together. And that means lifting one another when one forgets the way. That means praying over each other's wounds and letting Christ do the healing. That means growing into people who are ready to see Him face to face, not empty, but full, not distracted, but devoted. If your spirit is trembling at the beauty of this truth, pause and rest in it. This message is for you. This moment is sacred. Let your tears fall if they need to. Let your heart be soft. Again, you are loved. You are led. And you are deeply seen by God. If this journey has spoken to your soul, please take a moment to subscribe for more messages of sacred peace. Leave a comment with your prayer or reflection. Your words may ripple into someone else's healing. And if this final chapter has blessed you deeply, offering a super thanks is a sacred way to help us continue this work. Every gift you give is sown into the hearts of others, so that more weary souls can remember who they are and who they're walking toward. Now, hear this final blessing. You are not just lovers. You are not just partners. You are witnesses of glory. You are living parables. You are reflections of Christ's endless love. And one day, when the breath leaves your lungs, and you both step into eternity, hand in hand, you will look into the eyes of Jesus and know your walk together was never wasted. Every prayer, every act of forgiveness, every moment of quiet faithfulness, it was seen, it was sacred. It was written in heaven before you were born. You were called to reflect that love, to multiply it, to give it away freely and never run out, because the love God places in us doesn't end when this world ends. It transcends. And so I say this over your life, your home, your union. May you always walk in holy reverence, knowing this connection was not your doing. It was God's single quotes. May your love be a fountain of healing for every person who draws near to your life. May your legacy shine brighter than your names. May you walk in the assurance that God's voice was clear, and He who joined you will never leave. You were meant for this love, this life, this eternal journey, together. In Him, through Him, for Him. Amen. Let this closing chapter settle gently into your spirit. You are walking in something rare, something holy. And now, it's your time to live it out, to give it away, to walk in the fullness of what God whispered from the beginning. This person was meant to walk life with you. And not just life, but love, legacy, and eternity. Go now in peace. Beloved, your walk continues, but now it is sacred. And you are ready. Amen.